So let's go to the first part. The first part is an inviting presentation. The chair is Chen Peng. Hello, Chen.
Hello, thank you, Hello, for the nice introduction. So now
Thank
we are
you.
going to start. We are going to start our invited presentation session.
Okay.
So again, for each presenter, for each speaker, we have 15 minutes for the presentation and 5 minutes for the Q&A session. I will interrupt a little bit when 2 minutes left, so please bear with me. And our first speaker is Dr. Satoshi Kitazaki. He is a director of Human-Centered Mobility Research Center in National Institute of Advanced Industrial Science and Technology of Japan. So he will talk about the challenges in human factors for safe and trustworthy automated driving. Welcome, Satoshi.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm going to talk about challenges in human factors for safe and trustworthy automated driving today. Okay, there are several expected benefits of automated vehicles: a reduction of road crashes, reduction of traffic congestions, reduction of environmental loads, compensation for lack of professional drivers, new mobility for elderly or handicapped people, new city design, and probably others. Today's my talk is going to focus on safety. I think you have heard that the current road crashes are mainly caused by human errors. This is the data from Japan, and 96% of the current road crashes are caused by human errors. So the simple expectation towards automated driving is that because human makes errors, if we replace the human driver by a computer, this 60% will be minimized. That's the big expectation towards the automated driving technology in terms of safety. But unfortunately, the thing is not that simple. These are definitions of levels of automated driving defined in SAE J3016. I don't need to explain everything here. But important thing is that from level 1 to level 3, the human in the driver's seat still needs to fulfill some part of the dynamic driving task. And that brings to the driver, human, a new cooperation with the system for safe driving. The reason why I'm saying new is that this type of cooperation with the system can be new to many users, many drivers. This is the data I picked up from the internet, the data of crashes caused by ADAS and ADS. After 2016 up to 2019, I stopped collecting data at 2019, but it seems that there are more crashes after 2019. And probably the data is only a part of the fact. So this is a contradiction. We expect the automated vehicle to bring safety, but in fact, the automated technology has been causing some troubles. This is a schematic expression about when ADAS and ADS are designed to work. The top line is the time from normal driving, hazard is identified, crash may occur, and the crash is unavoidable, and crash, and post-crash as well. This timeline has been used by many people, industry people as well, to design active safety and passive safety features. When we plot ADAS on this timeline, ADAS can be divided into three categories. One is driver monitoring and driver support by information and driver support by automation. And probably these are the operational domain of ADS. Automated driving from level 2 to level 5 is here, from normal driving to here. But usually automated driving system is accompanied with active safety systems such as AEB, LDP, VDC, ABS, and things like that. So this is the package of automated driving with active safety systems. There are two types here of driver support by automation. The blue line here is actually the system, for the systems that substitute for a part of the dynamic driving task. And this purple line is for the systems that work beyond human ability. The problem is here, system substitution for the part of DDT. System-induced problems may occur unless the system is designed with careful consideration of human practice. And actually, automated driving systems here is really located in the situation where system-induced problems can happen with increased complexity. So the reduction of crashes by automated vehicle technology equals to reduction of crashes currently caused by human errors, as I explained at the beginning of this presentation. But unfortunately, there is a negative term for new crashes produced by system-induced problems. So this last term, negative term, is the negative consequences of the new human-system cooperation or interaction. And the system-induced problems involves human factors, such as new driver's role or tasks beyond human ability required by the system, driver's misunderstanding, overtrust, confusion, inappropriate states. So our work is to eliminate or minimize this system-induced crash risk. This is a typical system-induced problem. Yeah, when the driver, the vehicle is going with the either level 2 or level 3 functioning, then the driver is comfortable, then the system has got a failure, malfunction. Then the system says to the driver, the system has a system failure. So automation mode will be terminated. Then the driver may be like this, I'm not ready yet, I don't know what to do. Then the system does not really care the driver's worry, and the system has been terminated after a certain time period and may say that you are with the manual mode, please drive safely. But in this scenario, the front vehicle changes lane and exposed the stationary vehicles in a traffic jam. So it is a problem. Actually, this scenario has been used in our experiment. This is this scenario used in our driving simulator study, following the vehicle, like that. This is one of the experimental conditions, and that TTC, when the RTI was issued, was 4 seconds. We changed the time of the TTC as experimental conditions. Cool. Okay. Was the fatal crash caused by overtrust? As you know, this is the first fatal crash caused by Tesla in 2016 in Florida. Some articles say that the driver was watching Harry Potter. We don't know the truth, but it was very likely that driver was not really doing what he was expected to do. And it was really, it may have been based on his overtrust on the system. When you look up the internet, YouTube or whatever, you will see quite many videos and photos of like this. This is a sleeping driver in Tesla going at very fast speed. Is it due to limitation of human mobility, human ability, or overtrust? Probably both two are causing this risky situation. Does overtrust cause abuse or misuse? These two people in Tesla, it is not allowed to take this posture. This driver in the blue shirt cannot look around in this posture. So this is illegal, but people tend to do that. Well, some people tend to do that. This may be caused by trusting the system too much, overtrust. In general, I'm going to explain about these situations using a task demand concept. In general, a task demand is a dynamic demand to a vehicle with a driver determined by the environment and the status of the vehicle. Environmental factors include road and traffic complexity, weather, and others. And the status of the vehicle includes speed of the vehicle, tire conditions, and things like that. When the performance of a vehicle with a driver reaches or exceeds the task demand, the situation is safe. That's the left bar in this figure. But when the performance of a vehicle with a driver does not reach the task demand, here on your right, the situation is unsafe. In case of AV and in case of system-centered design, the system is developed without consideration of human ability and this responsibility to fill the gap between the task demand and the system performance is given to the driver. That's driver's responsibility. Then performance of the vehicle with a human driver may not reach the task demand in some situations here. That is unsafe situations. This is basically system-centered design. Human-centered design of AV. Human-centered design of AV is to understand human ability. That is the most important part of human-centered design. But it is also to be noted that human ability varies depending on age, experience, health conditions, and others. Driver's attributes as well. Second, human-centered design of AV is to understand the human factors related to the system-induced problems, such as misunderstanding, overtrust, confusion, driver state degradation, and others. Third, to develop HMIs that support the driver to maximize his or her ability. Driver monitoring is an important HMI to mitigate the effects of impaired driver states. also user education and training need to be considered. Lastly, to expand or improve system functions based on understanding of human ability so that the total performance reaches the task demands at all times. Simplicity of the system functions is an important part to avoid some of the system-induced problems. Conclusions. Challenges in human factors for safe and trustworthy automated driving is to understand human ability and also human factors related to system-induced problems. It is important to apply the human-centered design approach to the design of AVs. Lastly, system engineers and human factors engineers or researchers need to cooperate more to achieve human-centered design of safe AVs. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Satoshi. That's a perfect timing.
Thanks.
Yeah. So now we are having the Q&A session. Has anyone got questions to ask? Okay, actually have a simple question to let's start this. If everyone just a little bit hesitant to ask. So Satoshi, my question is about the liability. Let's use a big word. So let's say, especially for education purpose. So we could see, maybe we could say especially for the current AV, we don't have, let's say, enough or strong enough functions to really allow users to be more relaxed in the system, in the vehicle. So do you think, especially for education, do you think it's more rely on the manufacturer or more for our users, which I don't think people are really happy or really motivated enough to learn?
I think not only manufacturers, but government and dealers, quite many people should be involved in appropriate education of users. That's because the users get information about the new technology from various information sources. In Japan, we have a very strict licensing program, and all the drivers have to renew their licenses every 3 years. So we are working with the National Police Agency to implement the outcome of research into their education program. Actually, in our national project, we have been doing research into education of users, and we found that education contributes the safety of a safe use of the system. And thanks to our complicated licensing procedure program, in Japan, we have quite a lot of opportunities to give new information to users. But also, manufacturer and dealers should work together to give appropriate knowledge and hopefully experience as well to users when they buy the systems, the cards. So in our national project, actually, we divided opportunities into two. One is by the police agency for licensing procedure. That is for the general knowledge about the system and system limitations, and specific OEM specific knowledge. Information about the system should be given at the car dealers of each OEM. besides that, I think the government actually announces new technologies to the people. So government has responsibility to educate people appropriately. And, mass media, a lot of media talk about this new technology, and some of the articles in the internet are not correct. So I think quite many people should work together to educate people appropriately.
Yeah, thanks for the very detailed explanation. Makes sense. Yeah, different agencies should work together. Yeah, and I guess I got Monica, Professor Monica Sister want to ask a question in the chat.
Yes. Can I just ask a question like that? Can you
hear
me?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Sure.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you very much for this very good presentation. I wonder, did you also consider the under-trust in your investigation? So in my view, and I'm not an expert, this is the balance between reaching the task demand and going beyond it or staying under it. And what could be done in the case of under-trust?
Well, sorry, I can't stop my, I put it. Right? Yeah, too much under trust on the system of the user on the system may lead to disuse, probably. We haven't really investigated the effect of under trust of users on the system. I think, for safety aspect, under trust is good for safety, but it is not good for usability aspect of the system. To reduce the crashes, we have we expect users to use more safe systems. So this use is not really the situation we are trying to achieve. So yeah, that's my opinion about that. Have I answered to your question? I'm not sure.
I saw Monica just give a thumb up.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah. We have another question from the audience. We are a little bit over time, but I guess Rafael will have a short question.
Yes, it will be short. Specifically in this slide, you were talking about driver monitoring and other things that can enhance like perception of the driver capabilities. But one thing that we know about like driver monitoring and especially warnings given to the driver in not necessarily dangerous situations is that it can lead to misuse or even abuse of the system, such as the one that drivers put like an orange in the steering wheel. I would like to know what's your like idea of how specifically like driver monitoring or those type of HMI features can improve specifically trust in the system.
Trust is really the base of the safe use of the system, and driver monitoring system is a compensation in case somehow the system and the user in the driver's seat is not fine, is not in an ideal situation. Driver monitoring, there have been quite a lot of discussion on driver monitoring, what kind of driver monitoring should be implemented. And I'm working in an ISO TC22, and I have been leading a project for driver monitoring standardization. But due to various diverse opinions about the expectation or requirements of driver monitoring for level 2 and level 3, after spending 1 year, we haven't really reached an agreement to start writing a document of ISO. So my opinion is that driver monitoring should monitor various states of the driver, including physical states, to avoid that kind of situation, and also mental states. In our experiment, the driver with cognitive load degraded, performed poorly in transition takeover process. So level 2 definitely cognitive load to the driver should be avoided. But for level 3, we don't know yet what is legal and what is illegal secondary activities. But what we know is that too much cognitive load definitely has a bad influence in takeover performance. We have now UN regulation 157. It regulates driver monitoring to some extent for level 3 automation. But we think that that is a minimal requirement. So in ISO, we are trying to provide information to users to enhance safety by appropriate design of driver monitoring. That's what I can say now.
Yeah, as Raphael also have a thumb up. So thank you, Satoshi, for the nice presentation and for answering questions. I also saw some other questions coming up. So if you can take a look at the chat afterwards and maybe see if you can answer them in the chat. So due to the time limit, we have to move on to the next presentation. Thanks again.
Thank you very much.